I'm no professional detailer, but today I'm going to be detailing my abandoned MX5.
If you watched the previous video on this car, you'll know that my abandoned MX5 Turbo has sat on my driveway being unloved and untouched for over 4 years. Today, that changes because I'm going to be detailing it. Now, I have zero detailing experience, so this should be interesting. The first part is to hit it with some chemicals. And what we basically see here is just a fairly strong concentrate of pre-wash. And the plan here is really to just apply as much as I can to the whole entire car. As you can see, today is a pretty overcast and cloudy day, and it's not really that warm. So thankfully, we can let the chemicals really dwell on the paintwork and the wrap as well. So I'm applying the pre-wash to the bodywork, all of the glass, everything, and then just letting it dwell for a few minutes before I do the first of many wash downs. This is going to be a bit of a theme throughout the video. There's going to be many rinse downs throughout the different stages and processes. But at this point, I'm not doing any contact here at all. At this stage, we're not actually going to touch the paintwork. But again, I just want to get some of the more stubborn algae and moss off the car before we go on to the next stages of the detail.
We've done the first rinse, and now it's time for everyone's favourite, snow foaming. Let's do it.
I think it probably would have been better to use a slightly thicker snow foam mixture just to have it dwell on the paintwork a little bit more and take some of that loose debris off that was on the paint as well as the wrap. Now that the snow foam has settled for a while, it's time for the first contact stage. I'm going over all of the edges with a brush to try and get all of the spider webs, leaves, algae and moss from out of where they've been sitting for over 2 years. This took a while, but it's definitely the most satisfying part of the whole job. After that's done, it's time for yet another rinse down stage, getting rid of all the foam and having a nice clean canvas so I can start the final stage, which is going to be shampoo. After the rinse down stage, it's time for the final step of this process, the shampoo, which is arguably the most time consuming and probably the most labor intensive bit of the whole job. I'm going over the whole car from top to bottom with a wash mitt in the hope of getting rid of any loose debris that's still clinging to the wrap or the paintwork. And I think actually this process worked quite well. You could really see all of the dirt being lifted off as I was using the wash mitt. And obviously, once I'd applied the shampoo and gone over it with a wash mitt, it was time for another rinse down, the final time. After the final rinse down, it was time to dry the car. And because I don't have a proper drying towel, I actually opted to use a blow dry.
That is my first ever detail done, and I'll be honest, it's not great.
If you look closely, there's still loads of areas where I think I could have done a better job, but we'll worry about that in the future.
Both of those seats are now back in the car after being cleaned, and if you stand back quite far back, this starts to look like a car again. But the big unknown now is that engine, which hasn't run in over 2 years. So to see what I do next, you'll have to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. To see what happens next, make sure you're tuned in.